My name is Waffles, and I'm a government whistleblower turned political commentator, and this is the last 24 hours in the news. It is currently June 30th, 2025 at 3:39 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Here are the key news highlights for the past 24 hours for the United States. Alligator Alcatraz Immigration Center opens, built deep in the Florida Everglades. Near Miami, this controversial facility, nicknamed Alligator Alcatraz, will house up to 5,000 migrants. It aims to deter escapes using wildlife terrain, setting a 3,000 arrests per day ICE target. Native tribes and environmentalists are suing, citing cultural desecration and ecological threats. DHS and Florida officials defend it as a cost-effective enforcement measure. Trump administration sues Los Angeles. The U.S. government, led by Trump officials, filed suit against L.A. and Mayor Karen Bass, citing sanctuary city policies as unconstitutional. The lawsuit follows violent protests against an ICE raid in Paramount. It seeks to invalidate L.A.'s local immigration rules. ICE operations and court moves. Hero rescuer detained. ICE detained Luis Alvarez, who rescued a 9-year-old girl from a shark attack in Florida. He is being held for misdemeanor vehicle infractions despite his heroic act. Worksite raids escalate. ICE intensified workplace enforcement, arresting undocumented workers while largely sparing employers from charges. Critics highlight civil rights worries, especially warrantless entries and the use of broad Blackie warrants. Non-criminal immigrant detentions spike. As of June 23rd, ICE held 59,000 people, almost half without criminal convictions. Total detentions since February exceeded 97,000. Oil and markets. Oil prices decline. U.S. West Texas Intermediate fell to $65.20 a barrel. Brent dropped to $67.64, which is impacted by OPEC Plus increasing supply and easing Middle East tensions. Today, the stock market closed with the S&P at $6,203.31, which is up about 0.49%, marking a second consecutive record close and capping its best quarter in over a year. Nasdaq Composite ended at $20,369.73, rising approximately 0.48%, also hitting an all-time high. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at $44,077.26, which is up about 0.59%, finishing strong into quarter end. Health and consumer alerts. Measles cases surge. The CDC reports 1,227 confirmed U.S. cases in 2025, with 89% tied to 23 outbreaks. Nearly all patients are unvaccinated. Weather and environment. There are no significant severe weather alerts which have appeared in national news within the past 24 hours. H.R. 1, One Big Beautiful Bill. Budget reconciliation. Chamber passed House May 22nd, advanced into the Senate with a 51-49 procedural vote, triggering a full vote-a-rama, which is going on today, the 30th. There is details about that on my Substack in regards to the schedule as far as what we can expect, and I have also made additional videos that I've posted on all platforms explaining the procedure and what a vote-a-rama is. Budget resolution and reconciliation framework. These are the issues that are going to be in Congress this week. Resolution H Con Res 14 sets fiscal year 2026 to 34 budget parameters and debt limit, enabling reconciliation via H.R. 1. H.R. 20, Protecting the Right to Organize Act, PRO Act. This is sponsored by Bobby Scott, a Democrat from Virginia. The aim strengthens labor rights by amending NLRA, expanding collective bargaining, allowing NLRB to penalize employers, and removing right-to-work constraints in 27 states. It was introduced on March 5th, awaiting action in the House Education and Labor Committee. H.R. 3227, Farm Workforce Modernization Act, sponsor Zoe Lofgren, a Democrat from California, with Republican co-sponsors. The aim creates legal protections for agricultural guest workers under INA. Status referred to House Judiciary, Ways and Means, Education and Labor, and Financial Services. No floor vote yet. H.R. 40, Commission to Study Reparations for African Americans. Sponsor, Democrat from Massachusetts, Ayanna Pressley. Aim establishes a commission to explore reparations for slavery and systemic racism. Status introduced January 3rd, referred to House Judiciary legislative text available. No further movement yet. S1272 HR question mark. Trade Review Act of 2025, state sponsor, Senator Maria Cantwell, a Democrat from Washington. Bipartisan support, 13 co-sponsors. Aim requires congressional approval for new tariffs after 60 days, reasserts legislative oversight over trade decisions. Status introduced in Senate, companion bill in House by Rep. Don Bacon, facing a veto threat from the White House. H.R. 2366, American Families United Act, sponsor Veronica Escobar, a Democrat from Texas. The aim is supposed to enhance family unity in immigration proceedings by allowing hardship waivers for spouses and children of U.S. citizens. Status introduced March 26, pending in House Judiciary Committee. Signed, the Lakin-Riley Act. Purpose makes assaulting police or treason a mandatory detention trigger for undocumented immigrants. Passed both chambers and signed into law January 29th, 2025 during this Congress. It's now law. What to watch this week? Senate votes on H.R. 1, the big treasonous bill, amendments and passage, key for reconciliation. Lobbying by moderate and conservative Republicans could sway outcome. CBO fiscal analysis may introduce public and legislative opinion. Continued committee hearings on labor, immigration, and reparations bills. National hazardous weather overview. We're going to skip that since there's no, well, no, we're going to go ahead and do it. Severe thunderstorms, plains, Midwest, and Mid-Atlantic. AccuWeather warns that daily rounds of severe thunderstorms will continue early this week across central and eastern U.S., including plains, Midwest, and Mid-Atlantic. These storms bring risks of damaging winds, large hail, and flash flooding, potentially disrupting travel, power, and even flight operations near I-95 hubs like NYC, Philadelphia, and D.C. Localized tornado warnings. The Storm Prediction Center and NWS Radar recently issued tornado warnings in the Baltimore, Washington area. These indicate rotating thunderstorms capable of touchdown and flying debris. Serious threats where they remain in effect. Flash flood and severe thunderstorm warnings. An active NWS feed reveals numerous flash flood warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings across states like PA, Florida, Tennessee, New Mexico, and Alabama, triggered by intense storm cells generating heavy rainfall and wind. Heat and fire weather concerns in the Intermountain West, South, and Southwest forecasts indicate heat and dry conditions, along with dry thunderstorms. These raise risks for wildfire starts, especially in Oregon and Northern California. Tropical Watch, Gulf and Southeast. AccuWeather is tagging the eastern Gulf and South Atlantic coastlines, Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas for possible tropical storm development near July 4th weekend. Warm waters and scattered storms are being watched as potential seeds for the next tropical depression. Public safety notice. Stay alert on watches and warnings. Avoid flood-prone areas. In wildfire-prone regions, pause outdoor burning and fires. Here are the top international news highlights for the past 24 hours. I have 1 minute. Global conflict and diplomacy. Israel strikes Gaza again, killing dozens amid failed ceasefire efforts. Israeli airstrikes targeted Gaza City and Rafah, prompting international outcry as Palestinian casualties mount during another flare-up in violence. Russia intensifies its assault on Ukraine, launching a massive aerial campaign using over 500 drones and missiles. Ukraine reports 6 civilians killed, while Germany's foreign minister reaffirmed new arms support during a visit to Kiev. U.S. approves $510 million in weapons sale to Israel, signaling continued American backing Even amid ongoing civilian tolls in Gaza, extreme weather and environmental crisis, Southern Europe has a heat wave peak. I was not able to do today's news in under 10 minutes. We are looking at the international news for today, June 30th, 2025. At 3:51 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we are continuing. This is the second half of international news. Thousands have been displaced by Turkey wildfires as residents and tourists flee advancing flames exacerbated by the oppressive heat wave gripping the region. International politics and legal developments. Lithuania, Philippines, military pact signed. A strategic move signaling growing concern over regional security dynamics. Hard right Greek migration minister sworn in, raising fresh concerns over human rights and refugee policy under a new nationalist-led administration. Azerbaijan raids Sputnik office, escalating tensions with Russia as part of a broader crackdown on media and speech. Norway lottery fiasco. Norsk Tipping apologized after mistakenly informing 47,000 people of major wins due to currency conversion error. Culture and Society. UK police probe Bob Vyland at Glastonbury, investigating anti-Israel chant "Death to the IDF," sparking debates on free speech versus incitement. International Chess Day announced FIDE to host a 24-hour online blitz and inclusive events globally on July 20th under Every Move Counts theme. Summary insight: Middle East conflict, renewed Israel-Gaza hostilities, and U.S. arms support deepened humanitarian concerns. Ukraine under fire, Russia's drone campaign intensifies, but NATO allies double down on military assistance. Climate breakdown, Europe faces blistering temperatures and wildfires underscoring global warming's toll. Authoritarian drift, Greece, Azerbaijan, I don't know if I'm saying that right, and other regimes tighten control, fueling democratic and migrant rights worries. Cultural flashpoints, high-profile events test limits of speech, protest, and global solidarity. Today is June 30th, 2025. It is 3:53 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. This is the last 24 hours in the news. If you're watching on TikTok, you may have missed part 1. You'll need to check my timeline if you want to watch part 1. Don't forget to check me out on other platforms. I'm on Substack, Blue Sky, YouTube, and other platforms. I don't know. Check my link.tree in my bio. I got all kinds of stuff going on. It's a party over here. Not a great party. This is not a fun party with what is going on in the world today. But don't forget to check me out on other platforms. We'll see you tomorrow.
So the Olympics is great. And Johnny for the others, the World Cup. Johnny is the head of it. We had our top people, Wasserman. They all came in on the Olympics, and then I saw Johnny. And we got the World Cup too. And it's only because they rigged the election that I'll be your president representing you there. I got both of them. I got the Olympics and I got the World Cup. And I said, it's too bad. One was in 2026 and the other was in 2028. And I said, I won't be there. I won't be your president. But then they rigged the election and now we won. So I'm going to be your president for the Olympics and for the World Cup. So, Johnny, thank you for the World Cup, and everybody, thank you for the Olympics. We're going to have a great time.
Hey guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment to my videos. And also, don't forget to check out my shop where you could get this awesome Real Patriots Punch Nazis t-shirt. America, fuck yeah! And if you go to the link tree in my bio on most platforms, it's got links to everything, all of my stuff. You can find my shop there. I'm on eBay. You can also get this cool Exterminate MAGA sticker, because MAGA's fucking cockroaches. And fuck MAGA, abolish MAGA, fuck you MAGA.